What if your body was a gift and contribution to your life and not something that you've been stuck with? What if your body could change quickly and easily? Right Body for You will inspire you and show you a different way of creating the body and the life you truly desire. Now here's your host, Donnielle.
And welcome everyone to Right Body for You. I am your host, Donnielle, your body tour guide. I had to honestly remember for a second who I was and where I was and what show I was doing. I am just recently back from the Costa Rica Access Consciousness 7-day class in Costa Rica, and it was mind-blowing, body-blowing, amazing, transformational, informative, and fun. I know sometimes that last one is shocking, but it was a lot of fun, and it actually continues to be. As you all know, Right Body for You is part of Access Consciousness, and Access Consciousness is a set of tools and techniques that work on the energetic level to help you change anything that you desire, whether it's not working for you or whether you're just like, you know what, this is good, but more please. Access Consciousness tools are for that. And Right Body for You is a part of that. Right Body for You is a division of Access Consciousness, and it focuses on the body. Because I don't know about you, but I know a lot of people in the world who complain daily, sometimes hourly, about their body. I used to be one of them. Well, I guess I didn't so much as complain as just plain old ignore the fact that I had one. Anybody else like that? Yeah. And then I went to my first Access class, discovered some of these tools, and the rest is 8 years history. And now here it is, almost 8 years. And I'm part of the Right Body for You book. I do a radio show. I get to teach classes all over the world. And I have at least 2, if not 3 more books coming out here in next year. And I get to assist people with enjoying their body and having fun. And I am so super grateful and honored that I get to be a part of that, and I get to play with you guys each week. Because it's so funny. I used to be painfully shy. And it's so funny because if any of you know me or if any of you heard me in a class or been in a class with me, like attending a class, shy is not normally a word you would use to describe me, but I was. I couldn't stand up in front of people and talk. I couldn't even talk to a microphone, which, considering I've been in radio and TV since I was 12 years old because of my mother doing her own weekly radio show, the fact that I couldn't speak into a microphone hampered things just a little bit, kind of didn't let life progress and made my work difficult, uncomfortable, uneasy, and anxious, and somewhat trying to avoid it. But now here I am with the gift and use of the Access Consciousness and Right Body for You tools. And let me stress the part, use. An amazing tool is only as good as if you're using it. I mean, think about it. If you have a nail to hammer in and you're sitting there staring at the nail, looking at the hammer, and you're going, I wonder why this nail isn't getting nailed in. Well, it could be because you haven't actually picked up the hammer yet. And so while these Right Body for You tools and Access Consciousness tools are freaking amazing, easy, and transformational, there we go. That's the word. You do kind of have to use them. I've changed my body a lot over the past 8 years, and this is how, I got involved with Right Body for You. My body is constantly changing. People, you can read the first part of the story in the first chapter of the Right Body for You book, and then, my body's always changing, and it often changes in the middle of class, and people are always asking me, how are you doing that? And I'm like, I use the tools. And they're like, okay, but how did you do it? I'm like, I use the tools. And I use the tools to use the tools, and everything that brings up, Story Not Creative, please. Right from good, bad, but luck on light shows, boys, and beyond. And that right there, my friends, is an example of using the tools. What I just said is the Access Consciousness verbal clearing statement. And with that, as we were having this conversation, as we were talking, energy comes up. And as this energy comes up, we have some choices. We can either ignore it, or we can solidify it, and often ignoring it kind of makes it solidify, or we can actually change it. And part of the Access Consciousness tools and the clearing statement is changing that energy. Because what if there's changes to be had in the world, changes to be had with your body, and the only thing stopping are these energetic blocks that we refuse to acknowledge, perceive, or receive it. So, example, as we were talking about that, about using the tools, I know a lot of energy came up in a lot of people's universes of like, I use the tools, nothing changes, screw you, man, to, oh, but using the tools is difficult, I just don't know. And then some of you who are going, what the freaking frack are you talking about? Tools? What? And so a lot of different energies from a lot of different ranges come up. And so the tools are as easy as everything that brings up, because it brings up the energy, whatever it is. I put some words to some energies to show some examples. But sometimes the energy is something as simple as, which, if you guys could see my face right now, it's more expressive than just the words of, But, sometimes you just feel stuck. And so with that, the tools assist you in actually changing that, so that you are not stuck by that block. Because blocks, by definition, are there to keep you stable, keep you from not moving, barriers, those kind of warm, fuzzy things. But with the Access Consciousness verbal clearing statement, it allows you to go past that and actually create what you're saying you desire you create, whether it's with your body or your life. Okay. So if you want to learn more about the clearing statement, go to theclearingstatement.com. We've developed a beautiful website, and it explains a lot. Check it out. So, it's really been interesting over the past 8 years, or almost 8 years, of working with Access Consciousness, using the tools. It's interesting. Access Consciousness and Right Body for You is something that I and my body really dove into for possibly the first time in my life. I have seen a lot of amazing things over my lifetime. As I aforementioned, my mother had a health talk radio show, weekly health talk radio show from since I was 12 until about almost 3 years ago, when she passed away. And every week was a different expert. Every week was a different modality. Every week was a different answer, and it was amazing to see these things and the contribution that they all be. Let me say right now, there were some amazing people on my mother's radio show, and they changed the world a lot by what they were doing and being. And I never really had a strong desire to do any of them. Honestly, I was one of the most resistant people you have ever met. Gary, as a matter of fact, Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, who just facilitated the class in Costa Rica, I was having a meeting with him, because I am also the Access Consciousness Worldwide Body Class Coordinator. I have a few hats. And I was having a meeting with him, and he had facilitated something for me, and I was thanking him. I'm like, I'm very grateful. I know this has been this thing that I've been looking at in my universe. I know you've been aware of it for about 5 years. And thank you for the place and the space and the time and not pushing me to allow me to get to the place where I was willing to change it. And he was so sweet. He's like, well, honey, I knew I had to. He said something to the effect of, I knew I had to let you do it, otherwise you would resist you would be would resist with a stubbornness and a tenacity of stubbornness rarely seen on this planet. Sound like anybody else out there, folks? Anybody else resist with a tenacity of stubbornness? He has a flair for words. Gotta love that man. And so, I was that way with with almost everything my mother ever brought onto her show, and Access Consciousness, interestingly enough, was the exception to that. It was something that I desire to do this. When's the next class? And that in itself is an interesting story, how that came about, which, if you want to learn more about it, you can go to accessconsciousness.com, and you can buy the Right Body for You book. The whole story is the first chapter. But past that, it's like, okay, so I started using the tools. I started being the tools, because it's not just about using them, it's also about being them, being the change. Because the tools actually become a part of you, a part of who you be, so that you are just instantly the consciousness of what the target is for Access, is consciousness and oneness, right? And why am I talking about all of this when today we're talking about business? Because there is a direct correlation here. So almost 8 years ago, but almost 10 years ago at this point. Wow. The good thing time isn't real, because that was over 10 years ago. It's like a lifetime. But I was a promotion manager for a television station. So I was head of, those lovely commercials you see, and those lovely promos you see, and those contests and stuff like that. That was all me. You're welcome. For annoying you between the shows segments. You're welcome. That was all me. For WB in Wisconsin. So I was head of promotions and production and marketing. And I was pretty good at my job. And when I mean I was pretty good at creating limitation in the world. Telling people to what they had to wear, what they had to be like, dress like, look like. And basically we always did it from the point of, you're wrong if you don't do this. So you better do this because you don't want to be judged wrong, or you don't want to be a standout. You fall in line and do this. This is what the cool kids are wearing. And you want to be a cool, right? Trust me, wearing this watch will make you cool. And everything that brought up, interesting, destroyed on Creative Fleece, right from Good, Bad, Pop, Pocket, Line Shirts, Boys, and beyond. And what was interesting is, like I said, I was good at my job. And I hated it. It was literally killing me. And it wasn't what we think of, working yourself to death, of working hard hours and just getting exhausted. Yeah, there was some of that, with promotions. We worked evenings, we worked weekends. Oddly enough, that hasn't changed. Still work evenings and weekends, but it's different, and we'll get to that. But working in that business was actually killing me. For one thing, I wasn't allowing the contribution of my body. If anything, I was actually denying the contribution from my body, and I was actually slowing myself down. And I know that sounds funny, but it's like, yes, I was busy. Yes, I had a lot to do, so I was speedy at work, but slow in my molecules. Sometimes stories in Access, people talk about they wanted to kill themselves and that kind of stuff, and they knew something had to be different. I was so numb to the world at this point, I wouldn't even think about killing myself because I wasn't living. And when I mean my body molecules were slowing down, my body was functioning at such a slow speed that I am surprised it was still breathing. I felt like I was slowly turning to stone. My body was slowly turning to stone. And I was still, don't get me wrong, I was flexible as nobody's business. Even when I was at my height of heaviness, I would always shock people with my flexibility, gymnasts in my family or whatever, POC DNA. but I'm flexible. I would have been. So it's not like I couldn't move, I wasn't flexible, that kind of solidity. It's just my body was slowing down. My body was solidifying, and I was actually solidifying it with the neglect. And I don't mean neglect like I didn't feed it. I fed it. I barely took care of it. But I was also feeding it nothing but judgment, neglect of acknowledging, neglect of working with it, allowing it to contribute and contributing it to it. And that was actually solidifying my body to the point where I was like gray. You ever met those people who are just kind of gray? Yeah, that was me. And it was a really interesting place to be to in a working environment. And so while fantastic at my job, very mobile, very flexible, I was slowly solidifying my life and numb to it and living in a fantasy world. And I know my body had a direct correlation to all of that. And I don't mean my body looked bad, so I had that. So I had lived in the fantasy world. I mean, I lived in a fantasy world, so my body was being slow, okay? Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be, okay? So once the short story, I quit my job, went to St. George, Utah to take care of my dying grandparents. They died, and then our friend Dr. Dane here was on my mom's radio show of Access Consciousness, and everything changed, especially my work environment, okay? So we're going to take a quick little break, and when we come back, I am going to go into a little bit more about actually a lot bit more. How about that? A lot bit more about how, once I started acknowledging my body, that work changed and everything else changed too. All right. This is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You on A to Zen.fm, and we will be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A to Zen.fm.
It's body time. What would nurturing you and your body create in your life? Would you be willing to give yourself 30 days to find out? 4 live calls and receive direct to your inbox each day a video, process loop, or activity designed to contribute to you. It's body time. What will 30 days of nurturing create in your life? Begins October 15th. To find out more, go to DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com, DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. This is Donnielle. I am your host and your body tour guide, and pretty much whatever else you want to call me. I have a few nicknames, a few sarcastic ones, a few real ones, a few true ones, and sometimes the true and real ones are the sarcastic ones. Just have to say. If nothing else, I have a good time. I usually do, which is actually part of the change of my business, of my life, of my body, is that I usually have fun no matter what I'm doing. I'm even one of those weird ones who, as let's say you're coming back from Costa Rica with a layover in Houston with a hurricane in Mexico in between, bumpy ride on a plane, that can be fun. Absolutely. Having a mother sitting next to you with a child behind us who is constantly needing attention, and she's in the window, so she's constantly getting up. That can be fun too. And running through the airport because it took you 2.5 hours of 2.5 hours layover to get through customs because of said hurricane, and getting to the gate agent, and when the gate agent is upset because you got there late and he already gave away your seat, it can actually be joyful tormenting him. Well, not tormenting him, but, just kind of not being mad and not being the reaction that he's looking for, and just being joyful, and it really freaks out their universe. That could be fun too. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, just a little glimpse of my trip back from Costa Rica. And I still had fun. In acknowledging my body is actually a part of all that. The slogan of Access Consciousness is, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. And we're not talking that only good things happen. But what we are saying is you have choice in how you react to everything. You can have ease with everything. Like what I just mentioned with my trek through the airport, and that was just one of my 2 layovers, folks. The other one was almost as fun. I could have been grouchy. I could have been grumpy. And when I walked up to the gate and the gate agent rolled his eyes at me for arriving late, I could have been mad. What did I do? I laughed. And that really freaked him out, which was fun for me. But you can have ease with all things, even things that aren't necessarily going smooth. Use the tools. What would it take to have ease with this? What would it take for it to be smooth? Hey, I got on the plane. Mission accomplished. So, as we're talking about this with bodies and work, so I didn't start off working with Access. I started off doing Access classes, taking Access classes, and using the tools. At that time, I was considering, work-wise, back up. When I left TV, I had mentioned before that I was good at my job. And when I left TV, it kind of sent a shock wave into the corporate structure that I was working in, because it was surprising that I would even consider leaving, having had been there for 10 years at that point. And the president of the corporation, because there was 11, the corporation owned 11 stations all over the United States. And he actually flew into Wisconsin. He's like, is there anything I can do to change your mind? And I'm like, no. I have to do this. I have to leave. I have to go take care of my grandparents, help my mother, or I'm going to bury my mother also, blah, blah, blah. So he mentioned, he's like, you ever change your mind, when you're ready to come back, you let me know. We will find you a position. So here I am. Grandparents are dead. Mission accomplished. And I'm like, well, what do I do? What do I do for work? Because, this reality tells us we have to do something for work. You have to make money. You have to have a roof over your head. You have to have money to buy food, clothes, maybe go to a movie or whatever. But it's like you have to work. You have to do something. And, let's look at that energetically for a moment. And will you acknowledge that's a choice? Okay? This is one thing that comes up a lot. When I do the workshops I like to play the choice games. Because I'm always saying that you have choice in everything. And people are like, there are some things you don't have choice about. I'm like, really? Let's play the choice game. And in that, I'm like, okay, give me something you think you don't have a choice in. We will find the choice. And, this whole working and making money is one that comes up most frequently. And please look at this and acknowledge that it is a choice. All right, because if you don't create money in some way, inheritance, job, whatever, you don't have the roof over your head, unless you're doing something else to get the roof overhead, but you know what I mean. So if you choose not to do that, you can live on the streets. How many of you actually desire to live on the streets? Not a lot of you, right? So when you're looking at things like, oh no, that living on the streets wouldn't actually work for me. So no, I'm gonna work. I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna get a roof over my head. Cool. That's your choice. Your choice is to not live on the streets. Your choice is to work, do the job thing, do the money thing, and all that kind of stuff. So please start to acknowledge that this is a choice. So when you get up in the morning, you're like, grumpy, oh, I have to go to work today. No, you don't. But if you make the choice not to go to work today, what will that choice create in your future? And if you don't like that future, make another choice, which is how most of us actually get to the work. But we don't acknowledge the choices. So everywhere we are choosing, but denying that we're choosing, and fighting against the choice we've made, trying to blame someone or something else, truth, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate that? Right, wrong, good, bad, black, and white, choice, boys, and beyond. You know, that's something that started to create ease in my universe. Because, so here was, my grandparents were dead. What do I do for work? I chose. I'm like, yes, I'm choosing to work. I like a roof over my head. Living on the street would not work for my body. Camping, different story, and only occasionally. Room service, that works too. And so I'm like, what to do? So I had the bright idea to open up a metaphysical bookstore. I lived in Utah at that point in time. For those of you who don't know, Utah is the home of the Mormon Latter-day Saints community. There's a reason there wasn't a metaphysical bookstore in my town. They didn't want one. Not that I was asking questions about that. But I was producing my mom's radio show. I was working for the radio station. I was running the board. What I meant was I was actually helping to broadcast, pushing the buttons to get the broadcast going for the radio station. And then I was also doing some editing, audio editing and stuff on the side. So this is what I was doing, and I was hating it. Okay, and so I'm like, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to open a metaphysical bookstore. Yeah, that didn't work too well. And it was really interesting because not opening the metaphysical bookstore was actually one of the first ways I really became aware of using my body to interpret the light heaviness of the situation, of the energy, even though I didn't fully acknowledge it at the time. Because I remember walking around the construction site of the place that I was going to rent, the retail location I was going to rent. And I was walking with my mother, and as we were walking around, I started feeling more nauseous, and just sick. I mean, I was just sick to my stomach in a horrible way. And the more I was there and the more we talked about it, the more sick I got. And so I was talking to my mother. I'm like, I think I must be sick for a reason. Maybe I don't do this. Maybe I don't sign that contract. And I ended up not signing the contract. Thank heavens. And then what was interesting is about 3 weeks later, I took my first access class and everything changed. So, that is just one of the, excuse me if you hear my cat yelling at me. For some reason, she feels the need to make her presence known recently. Welcome to my life. Even the cats talk to me. And so, and apparently my cat is talking to one of the producer's cats. It's awesome. Or puppies, sorry. And so, that was really one of the first times when I acknowledged my body was contributing to my business, even if it wasn't in a, I use the tools kind of way, but at least my body got through my thick head enough to where I went, there must be a reason this makes me feel sick. Let me pause here for a moment and look at this again. Okay? So this is one of the ways your body can actually begin to contribute to your business and your life. is information like this, okay? So we got to take another quick little break. When we come back, I'm going to give you some tools and examples of how your body contributes to your business, and your business contributes to your body every day, and how you can actually create ease with that and more with that. Because I don't know about you, but who wants more? Me. Not because I have lack, but because why not? Okay. Interesting. Yeah, everything that doesn't allow that, destroy and uncreate it. Cool. Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, forth and beyond. All right, we're going to take a quick little break. This is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You, and we'll be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body, and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour, and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that, when run, assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at A2Zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. This is Donnielle. I am your host. I am your body tour guide, and whatever else you want to call me. That's me. So today we're talking about that your body contributing to your business does not have to be hard work. And, and it's so funny. Whenever I bring up, because I get to do these Right Body for You workshops all over the world, and I get to do radio shows like this and have a good time and play with you all. And whenever I talk about your body contributing to your work or your business or helping you create money, two things usually come up. One, something like construction work. It's like, oh, well, of course my body helps me make money. I am in construction. I use my muscles every day. I chop down trees, or, I build cars, or just, they have that physicalness to it of like, I use my body that way. Because so many people who with desk jobs go, body has nothing to do with my business, blah, blah, blah. I am not one of those. I know a gentleman who, whenever he got tired at his desk job, he worked for Microsoft at the time, and every time he got tired of doing coding for computers, he had a picture of himself doing insulation. He worked for an insulation company when he was a teenager, and so he would be up at like 5 a.m., load the trucks of insulation, and then go install it. So it was a very physical job. And so whenever he was tired of doing code, he would look at that picture and go, oh, well, I don't want to have to do that. And what's interesting is today he has very little connection with his body. So it is very interesting how we make these differences of how your body can and cannot contribute to your job. So everything that brings up, discern and grade it. Right, wrong, good, bad, football, nice shorts, boys, and beyond. Okay. The second thing that always comes up when I talk about your body and your business is the oldest profession in the world, being a prostitute, a hooker, whatever you want to call it, escort, madam, or whatever. People go, well, of course, or stripper, right? Well, that's how you make money with your body. It's like, if that works for you, great. And and I met a not a call girl, what did she call it? Escort. I met an escort in the past 2 weeks. She was fantastic. And I was like, wow, that is so cool. It's interesting how she had no point of view about it and just enjoyed it. So I think that brings up Story and Uncreate It, right, wrong, good, bad, football, night shorts, boys, and beyond. Okay, so those are the two ways that when I talk about your body contributing to your business, people go there. So everywhere we've defined and judged as your body contributing to your business in those two ways, the physicalness of it or the physicalness of laying on your back for it. Truth, would you be willing to destroy and create those? Right, wrong, good, bad, football, night shorts, boys, and beyond. Because it's so much more than that. So, like I gave the example in the last segment, my body, your body is it's an awareness organism. It's constantly giving you information, okay? And so light, heavy, you guys have heard me talk about this a multitude of times. Anything that's true for you will make you feel light. Anything that's heavy for you will make you feel, anything that's a lie will make you feel heavy. So when I was walking around the construction site for the future metaphysical bookstore, it felt heavy as crap. I felt sick. I felt nauseous, and that was my body's way of giving me the information of the energy going, no, don't do it, 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 don't do it. Fortunately, I listened. And you guys need to acknowledge that even if you didn't have a cognitiveness of these tools, you used them at least 1 or 2 times out of 10. You used the tools. You were the tools. You received the information and acted upon it, okay? So that was one of them. But, and it's so much more than that. For me, my body is one of the greatest contributors and generators for my business, okay? I would say this even if my business wasn't called Right Body for You or Worldwide Body Class Coordinator. Honestly, my body, I now acknowledge that my body is contributing to my business, contributing to the generation of it. Like, next to me, one of the greatest contributors, okay? One of the greatest generators. Let's look at the physicalness of it. It actually helps me talk to you. It actually helps me type. When I am standing in front of a classroom of people facilitating, it actually helps me facilitate. Besides just walking around, you guys can see me. You guys can hear me with your ears. It does more than that. My body actually is giving me also information for what's going on for the participants in the class, both the infinite being and their bodies. And if you guys have ever watched one of my classes or taken one of my classes, I don't sit still very well. And part of this not sitting still is my body's awareness of the energy and my body moving and shifting like that, whether it's twisting my hair or talking with my hands. I mean, you guys should see me right now. I am like talking to the air with my hands moving everywhere. First time I did an intro in Italy, they came up immediately afterwards and went, "You must be Italian. You have to be Italian. You talk with your hands so much." And I'm like, sure, why not? But for me, it's my body's way of helping shift the energy. My body is working it, baby. That's what I'm saying. It's actually helping to shift the energy by the movements that it's doing in the room, even if it's just shifting in my seat. My body is actually helping me generate and create my business. Okay. Now, I know some of you guys are going to go, well, you facilitate, you do energy work. Of course, the body. It makes sense. The body's helping shift and move energy in an access class, right? Body for You class makes sense. Look at the last business meeting you were in at. How much information was your body giving you about what was going on for the other people? If it's a negotiation, how did you perceive what they were going to do? How much of that information came also from your body? And when you did things like, we talk about this body language. Oh, if you're folding your arms, then you're resistant or whatever. And there is some truth to that. And also, what else is going on there? Okay, so your bodies are actually communicating to each other in a massive way, and you're receiving that, okay? But how much of you, like shifting in your seat, folding your legs, unfolding your legs, is a shifting of energy? And like that folding the arms example, say the person you're negotiating with is sitting there, legs together and arms folded. Resistance stance, right? But also look at the energy, resistance, energy. And so, you've made a point in the negotiation when they unfold their arms, kind of loosen their legs, and or lean forward. What if it's more than just the actual physicalness of the body? What if that body's motion is actually dissipating that energy of solidity and going, oof, okay, I'm willing to listen to whatever you're going to say next. Okay? As well as what you are doing in your body. How is your body moving and shifting and dissipating that energy also in negotiations or in a meeting or in a conversation? How many of you make presentations? Tell me that's not facilitating. Next time you have to make a presentation to a client or a presentation in front of a group of people, look at it as facilitating. It's interesting to see when you're actually facilitating a presentation, how that shifts and changes the energy. And your body is a contributor to that. It's not just the walking and talking and moving around. It's also that energetic contribution. Okay? Oh, and somebody just on the chat room said, oh my goodness, or kids at school who are constantly squirming, etc. Exactly. Okay? How much of that? And as you guys are teachers, all of us are teachers to some degree. How much is your energy shifting and changing their energy, and your body is a contribution to that? Okay? Cool. Somebody's just like a whole new possibility just opened up. Love it. Awesome. How does it get better than that? Woohoo! Okay. So we got to take a quick little break. It'll be our last break. When we're back, we're shockingly going to talk more about this. And I have a couple more tools to share with you guys about creating your business with your body. All right, this is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You. We are on A2Zen.fm, and we'll be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
It's body time. What would nurturing you and your body create in your life? Would you be willing to give yourself 30 days to find out? 4 live calls and receive direct to your inbox each day a video, process loop, or activity designed to contribute to you. It's body time. What will 30 days of nurturing create in your life? Begins October 15th. To find out more, go to DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com, DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at A2Zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. This is Donnielle. I am your host. I am your body tour guide. I am me. Hello. Nice to play with you all today. All right, so today we're talking about how your body is actually one of your greatest contributors and generators of your business. And what would it take to actually allow that more? All right, so one of the first things I would suggest is acknowledge your body as the contribution that it be. And you know what? A lot of you have already done it, so done. And be grateful for it. Acknowledge the contribution that it be and be grateful for it, okay? Because when you do that, a whole new world starts to open up of what is actually possible when you are including your body in just not only your business, but your life. I know, silly. Contribute to your life also. And everywhere you think your body has to be a certain thing, health level, size, shape, whatever it is, all of those I will allow it when. Would you be willing to destroy and create it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, BIPOC, all nine shorts, boys, and beyond. Cool. Thank you. So one, acknowledge your body's contribution, whatever it is. Don't define it. Don't go looking for well, I know my body contributes like this. No, just acknowledge truth. Is your body contributing to the creation and generation of your business? Yes, cool. That's all that's required, okay? And then acknowledge that your body, or acknowledge with your body, that your body receives the ease and the money that comes from the business, from your work or whatever it is. So your body is actually desiring to contribute to this. Because I don't know about you, but my body likes, or I don't know, let's call it a 16-hour flight back from Mumbai to the States. My body likes to lay down flat bed seat so it can go to sleep. And you know what? It's easier to do that with having the money to pay for it. Because you know what? They catch you when you just sneak up. They're pretty, the stewardesses are pretty quick. They catch you. They're like, this is not your seat. I'm like, can it be, please? So your body is actually desiring to contribute to your business like this for reasons. That's just one of them, with reasons like that. Okay? And then one of the things is body, what would create ease for you today? Okay? I'm in the midst of this 30 days of contribution to you and your body, and it's freaking phenomenal. Oh, my gosh. I think today is 15 or 14 or something. So we're halfway through, but you can still join if you want. You can either start each day one, and go on, or you can join us in the middle and catch up. Do whatever you want. But it's really been amazing to see how this nurturing thing really changes everything. And so when you're talking about body, what would create ease for you today, it's really interesting what comes up. Because I've done this body, what would create ease for you today? And it's go to a movie. I'm like, really? But would that ask it? You can ask another question, by the way, guys. You don't have to ask just one. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Would going to a movie today grow and create my business? And it was yes. I'm like, well, that's interesting. Okay. And I went, so I would go to a movie, because here it is. There's something about energetically, if you're pushing for I just have to push through this and get to the other side, you tend to do it slower, okay? And so when you do take those, even if it's just 5 minutes, a break for your body, get up, wander around. I go pet my cat, or go say hello to the outdoors. Sometimes it's even just going to get my mail. It is the shifting of the energy, folks. It is that contribution. It is shaking the silly. It is creating that ease, that when you sit back down to do whatever it is, it's amazing how much easier it becomes. Okay? So when you include easing your body every day, your business gets easier. So many people have been like, oh, I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time to contribute to my body. And, okay, everything going to the gym brought up to turn and create it, right, wrong, good, bad, BIPOC, all nine, boys, man. Or, I don't have time to contribute to my body. I was at my computer all day, and so I couldn't move around. Okay, so all of those excuses, reasons, justifications, truth, which we will surrender and create them. Right, wrong, good, bad, black, nice, shorts, boys, and beyond. What if you took 5 minutes? What would that contribute to your business and your body? All right, I know we're down to the last few minutes. I am going to put down a part 2 for this. This is just the beginning of your body contributing to your business. I haven't even got into all the other parts of like having your body assist you with choosing who to work with. So there'll come a part 2 when, I don't know, probably in December because we have November's dates done. So look for it in December unless I get it. My body's like, no, it must be now. I do that. All right. So if you want to join the 30 days of nurturing you and your body, please do. It is awesome. It's so fun. I've been doing it along because I've been so excited, and it's amazing what's been coming out. I mean, I write this stuff every day, and then it comes up, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. I like that. And it's been shifting and changing things for me. After the 7-day, I had a Skype call with a dear friend of mine, and she's like, wow, you look different. I'm like, I am different. She's like, you're happier. I didn't even know that was possible. I am. And part of it has been this nurturing and how that it actually helped me have the changes from the 7-day class easier. So check it out, DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com or Donnielle.com. Go to Donnielle.com, DonnielleCom. You can still register or email me at Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com, Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com, and I can give you more information. And it's pretty amazing. It's $300 and it's just $10 a day. And the things I've been hearing from people who've been participating in it, they're like, you should be charging a minimum of $50, $75, or $100 a day for all the information you're giving. And I'm like, wow, thank you. But it's like they've been taking the stuff and the stories I've been hearing about how nurturing their bodies has changed their life, their business, even their bodies in just the past 2 weeks of the 4 weeks has been phenomenal and such an honoring and such a gift to me and my body. So please do check it out, okay? And ask your body today, body, what would create ease for you? And in that, what would create ease for our business, okay? Because it is both of your businesses. Please acknowledge that. We always think we have these, I work for myself, I work alone. No, you kind of work with your body. And once you acknowledge that, things begin to shift and change, okay? So if you guys have any topic that you and your body would like to know more about, please do email me, Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. We would love, me and my body, would love to hear what you and your body would like to know more about. I'm always looking for show topics, and I would love to know what you guys are actually wondering about or asking questions about. So please do drop me a line, let me know. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, if you had any awarenesses, I would love to hear those too. If you had aha moments, those are fine as well. Please let me know. I love to hear from you guys. It may take me a couple days to get back to you. I'm usually on a plane a lot or in the jungle of Costa Rica, but please do drop me a line. I love to hear from you guys, okay? And, what else is possible in your life, in your body, and in the world when you and your body are actually enjoying each other? Because I don't know about you, but the more I'm enjoying my body and the more I enjoy being in the world, the more the world enjoys having me in it. And by the world, I mean other people. My world has become so full and so fun and alive with people. I am so truly grateful. All right, everyone, have a great week. Make it a fun week. Make it a fantastic week. Enjoy your body because it's enjoying you. Be back next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Right Body for You. Donnielle will return next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A to Zen.fm. We hope you and your body will join us.